scared. I'm just like, what the... I'm a mess. I got my sprained ankle.
That's the whole point of this fight. It creates conversation, barbershop conversations, taxi conversations, airplane conversations, and that's what we want. The more people talking about the fight.
The crowd's energy flipped in seconds. Roaring approval, sudden silence, then chaos again. Each shift driven by brief but intense exchanges. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul was marketed as more than a fight. It was framed as a meeting point between generations. A championship-tested heavyweight seeking to reassert himself, and a digital-era fighter who spent years transforming attention into legitimacy. When the final bell sounded, online reaction exploded. Clips spread instantly, opinions hardened, and every moment was broken down frame by frame. Hours later, both fighters finally addressed the night. Their words were guarded yet honest, defiant without being dismissive. What became clear was that the event itself carried more weight than any single scorecard result.
I think at the end of the day, I'm a kid with a big heart that wants to change the world, disruptor, and I never took no for an answer, and I'm just chasing my dreams, having fun, and living the American dream, really. It's a testament to hard work, and every single day dedicating yourself to a craft, pushing through when you don't want to be there, and it all pays off in the long run, and believing in yourself, setting goals that people think are impossible. That's really what my story is all about, and that I hope.
After major boxing events, there's a particular stillness, not true quiet, but a pause while order returns. Medical teams moved efficiently, trainers checked in, and both camps withdrew from public view. When statements eventually emerged, they felt stripped down and sincere. Fighters spoke of exhaustion, respect mixed with frustration, and emotions only competition at this level can produce. Joshua's message reflected careful self-review, noting missed chances and pivotal rounds that would be debated for years. Paul's response balanced confidence with vulnerability, touching on isolation, pressure, and the scrutiny that follows a controversial contest. Despite different perspectives, both echoed the same themes: gratitude for the crowd, respect for the moment, and a desire to let the fight settle before it's reduced to a single verdict.
He has a very side-on stance, tries to practice the Philly shell, and I think Jake has a chance that is slim to none.
I really appreciate it.
All good?
Thanks, boss.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Yeah. Heavyweight of the world!
Yeah, can you get my back? No. For the first week of sparring, I had to get comfortable in there and let things slow down and feel the power out and get the confidence to slip, catch, move.
Before the bout, predictions flooded in, and they were anything but unanimous. Most analysts and betting markets leaned toward Anthony Joshua, installing him as the favorite. That expectation was reinforced by mainstream sports outlets, with several experts pointing to Joshua's experience and knockout history as decisive factors. Some predicted an early stoppage, citing his power and familiarity with high-stakes heavyweight fights. Still, not everyone agreed. Prominent voices in combat sports pushed back, arguing that unpredictability remained a real factor. Tyson Fury openly suggested Paul had the kind of punch that could disrupt everything, even hinting he'd wager on the upset. Dana White offered a more skeptical take, questioning crossover narratives while acknowledging Paul's willingness to take serious risks. Paul himself was unwavering, publicly insisting he couldn't be stopped and projecting confidence throughout media appearances. That tension between established credibility and disruptive belief gave the fight its cinematic edge. Afterward, analysts revisited their takes. Some admitted misjudging the rhythm, others focused on technical lessons. Rather than excuses, much of the discussion centered on preparation, adaptability, and how traditional fighters must now account for both physical and narrative pressure inside the ring.
Well,
it's very tough to say something about Joshua or Jake. You know, I'm waiting for this fight because I'm so exciting. But, you know, Jake have a lot of chance to win, and a lot of people think he not, but I believe in Jake. I mean, Joshua is the best fighter and have a lot of experience in boxing. You know, he's a heavyweight guy, but Jake improved a lot, and the people need respect both. You know, because it's not everybody have a, sorry my language, but have a balls for come inside the ring and fight. You know.
From the opening bell, the pace was sharp and urgent. Early exchanges showed how Paul's unconventional angles could sneak through, while other rounds reflected classic heavyweight fundamentals: distance control, probing jabs, and heavy combinations. Moments that seemed subtle on replay landed with massive impact in real time. A quick uppercut, a brief stumble that shifted momentum. Post-fight, both camps highlighted different strengths. Joshua's team emphasized disciplined jab work and power sequences. Paul's side pointed to grit, inside fighting, and a confidence shaped outside traditional boxing pathways. Online, the fight took on a second life. Short clips looped endlessly, sparking debates, breakdowns, and memes. Both fighters leaned into that visibility, releasing behind-the-scenes footage that felt raw and immediate. Trainers spoke analytically, discussing positioning, defensive lapses, conditioning, and tactical adjustments. The tone wasn't defensive, it was instructional. Each side treated the fight as a learning tool, outlining what worked, what didn't, and what needs refinement moving forward.
You see those big discrepancy in skill. Sometimes the better fighter carries the other fighter, or maybe goes a little easier. Is there any part of you that maybe thinks that way, or are you going in there 100%?
Zero part of me. And there's not even that, it's Jake. It's just, do you know, I was actually looking at myself today. I'm a very respectful guy, brought up by a good family, but if I can kill you, I will kill you. That's just how I am. And this is just the job I do, so.
Beyond the ring, the event made waves commercially. Betting lines shifted mid-fight. Pay-per-view numbers were scrutinized, and promoters immediately began discussing future possibilities. Media outlets tracked real-time data, underscoring how modern boxing operates at the intersection of competition and analytics. Executives now measure success not just in wins, but in engagement, replays, and subscriber growth. Fans debated meaning as much as mechanics. Traditionalists criticized the spectacle. Younger audiences embraced the crossover appeal, and neutral viewers admitted they were unexpectedly drawn in. One theme dominated fan reactions. People felt they had witnessed something significant. Both fighters publicly thanked supporters, acknowledging that the event only mattered because people invested their attention. Talk of a rematch surfaced almost instantly. While neither camp committed publicly, both avoided shutting the door, a familiar strategy in boxing negotiations. Health and recovery were emphasized in official statements, redirecting attention from speculation to long-term well-being. For Joshua, the night becomes another chapter in a career marked by peaks, setbacks, and reinvention. For Paul, it stands as a defining test of credibility. Both referenced legacy, one as a long-term journey, the other as an ongoing challenge.
Is a massive bonus. So for me, I'm not worried about what people think about the integrity side. I'm more worried about, are they talking? And as long as...
Ultimately, this fight was a deliberate gamble by both men. Joshua versus Paul won't fade quickly. It will be studied, debated, and referenced for years. Their immediate reactions were measured and strategic, focusing less on outcomes and more on lessons gained. Whether the next step is a rematch, a renewed title push, or different opponents altogether, their futures will be shaped by what comes next rather than what already happened. Boxing history often judges fighters by response, not result. In closing, both men struck similar notes: gratitude toward their teams, acknowledgement of pain and disappointment, and a commitment to return to work. Now the conversation turns to the audience. How did you see the fight? And who should Jake Paul face next to continue proving himself? Share your thoughts, And stay tuned for more boxing updates.